Welcome to PT104, Peer Profile Development. Good day, everyone. I'm Rob Peters, and with me is Ron McIntyre, founder of the Transformative Leadership Group. Today, we will share the why and how for creating your profile on the Peer platform. This has become commonplace in our always connected world, yet we have a tendency to shortcut or ignore this part of many online applications. We feel this should not be the case with Peer.
We are working and collaborating with other people online more than ever. More and more of our work will be based on requests from peers, such as customers, fellow employees, partners, and so on. Thought leader Dan Pink, in his book To Sell is Human, says, "We spend a significant portion of our days trying to coax others to part with resources. This includes influencing people to see your point of view, or to have them support your products or services." Dan Pink also states, "Indeed, the vast majority of time we are seeking resources other than money." Therefore, the first step to influencing others on the Peer platform is to create a complete and well-written profile for others to read, hence the importance of this particular section. So what are some of the top reasons for creating a great profile? Well, let's start with number one. Creating a positive first impression.
Your online peer profile may become as important as your resume or your LinkedIn profile is today. If you're looking for a new job, changing careers, or seeking paid engagements as a solopreneur or independent worker, your peers are frequently using social business networks such as the Peer platform to find independent workers as well as candidates for employment, rather than going through resumes or seeking job websites. Here are some tips for creating a positive first impression. Be informational and conversational instead of salesy. Focus on writing information that's informative and is based on your customer's interests and needs as opposed to pushing a hard sell or using industry jargon. Think like a customer or potential customer that plugged a few words into a search engine to find you. What are the key words that typically bring customers to your site? Use those and surround them with simple, straightforward language. Focus on attracting your ideal clients. Instead of trying to appeal to everyone, look at attracting clients that are most likely to buy from you, and will continue to do so on an ongoing basis. While one-off transactions will certainly contribute to your bottom line, it's more expensive to market to random customers. Profitable client relationships are those that are established over time when business owners engage their regular clients on a more personal level. The more the business owner knows about a client, the more tailored the experience will be. And the more that a client feels connected to a business and appreciated, the more likely he or she to favor that business. People who have neglected to create and update a social business presence on Peer, as well as LinkedIn, the leading professional networking site, could miss out on being considered for opportunities or new engagements.
A famous quote, once and often attributed to Woody Allen, is 90% of success is just showing up. One of the first steps of showing up or being found, as well as being found on a Google search, is to have a complete Peer profile page. Let the web crawlers find you by providing more locations to be found. Peer is definitely one that can be used to advance this.
One of the primary purposes of business networking is the acronym KLTR. In other words, become known, become liked, become trusted, and become referenced or referred. Creating your Peer profile page will help you get known, liked, trusted, and referred. If it is well constructed, informational, and dynamic, do not think of your profile as a brochure. Think of it as more of a short story that potential connections can relate to quickly.
A complete and well-written user profile can assist you in standing out from the crowd. In our point-and-click world of competition, this is important. Social business platforms such as Peer that captures a person's professional credibility will increasingly become a channel for companies seeking talent. This is how a resource such as yourself will be a sustainable commodity in the market and form a distinction between yourself and your competitors. Success going forward in our P2P world counts on your uniqueness. Remember, impressions are formed in the brain based on what matters most to that person. It includes factors such as their own personal experiences, social values, and pet peeves. Now, based on those impressions, people make relatively accurate evaluations in less than 30 seconds. Also, 90% of consumers or clients trust recommendations from people they know, and 70% of consumers and clients also trust opinions posted online. So the more time you invest in creating and maintaining your profile, the more apt you are to catch someone's attention, which will allow you to build credibility with them over time.
As a general rule, before posting something on your peer profile, imagine it displayed on a billboard on the side of a highway. Would you be uncomfortable to see it there? If so, you may not want to post it at all. While it may be illegal and it is very hard to prove, potential employers or customers might discriminate based on information available from your profile pictures and other easily available information on one social networking profile. Be aware of revealing even basic information such as age, gender, race, disability, sexual orientation, political affiliations, other groups and contacts. Potential employers can use social networks such as Peer to confirm that an applicant or solopreneur has represented his or her capabilities, interests, education level, and background truthfully. They can also learn about other interests an applicant may have. Individuals who create positive, interesting, and informative social networking profiles may seem like stronger candidates for certain jobs. This is especially true, but not limited to, jobs involving outreach, volunteerism, and communication.
When we talk about storytelling, we don't mean that it should become an excuse for poetic license over your profile. Since the who premise of Peer is to be authentic, ethical, truthful, and proactive, there is no room for embellishment. It may seem that this is an easy way to fill out these sections, but we ask you to please resist the temptation. Now, here are a few guidelines that we recommend. 1, don't exaggerate experience in terms of depth, duration, or location. The internet makes it too easy to verify your data. Number 2, don't exaggerate your titles with prior employers. While it may seem a quick way to impress, it can create problems. On the other hand, if you own your own company, you can be as creative as you want with your titles. Just make sure that they are lived and not just titles. Number 3, don't use the fake it until you make it logic on your services or products. However, you can use your failures as growth steps, which clients will respect if you are honest with them. And finally, keep your stories, all of them, honest, relevant, and dynamic. Don't spend too much time in the past. Enough said now. Let's move onward and upward.
As we mentioned before, the Peer platform can be seen as one of your billboards. Just as your LinkedIn profile has become an important place for employees, recruiters, and relationships to learn about you and your credentials. The Peer platform is your billboard for building relationship capital and credibility, or it can create a persona of insignificance or irrelevance that does not initiate conversations. There are 5 major sections to the Peer profile: personal profile, profession, education, summary, and social. Many of these fields could have been input as part of the sign-up process. You had not taken the time to fill in each page. However, we know that many shortcuts in this process are taking place. Only input the mandatory fields to save time. That means completion of this profile must be done post-haste. So let's take a closer look at each section.
The first is the personal info section. Now, many of these fields, as we mentioned, could have been input as part of the sign-up process. If you didn't, now is the time to take a look at that. The fields that are mandatory are things like first name, last name, user ID, primary ID, account type, and country. The rest are optional. Now, even though they're optional, we do highly recommend that you put them in because they're important for people to dialogue with you and to be able to find you and contact you. The last section of the personal information section is hobbies and areas of interest, which a lot of people are choosing not to put anything in. But we recommend that you think of this as your personal story section in 1,500 characters. This allows another person to initiate a conversation with you that is based on personal information, which will be warmer and not necessarily about business. So this is an add-on that would be very good for you to take advantage of. Now let's take a look at the profession or the professional information.
Completing your professional information, such as job title and company name, are important. Some job titles can be vague, so make sure that your job title clearly communicates your role to those who may be seeking your services, both within your company as well as out. Fields available. Job title. It's mandatory at sign up, but modifiable in profile section. Company. If you are a solopreneur or entrepreneur, this is critical. Years of experience. Input the numeric value in terms of years. Allows for search later. Skills. Keep relevant, single words, separated by commas. Again, keep in mind that this is searchable under advanced search function. Simple and straightforward. Keeping it that way makes your life easier. Now let's move to summary or the user personal summary.
This is really one of the most critical yet most creative parts of your profile. This is where you can use the format tools to create a great looking discussion of what you and your services are all about. Don't cut corners here. So let's take a look at a few comments and guidelines. Number one, be conversational, as we mentioned before, and understand the story you're trying to tell. Number two, be concise, yet relevant in terms of your values, services, and products. Number three, don't use acronyms, buzzwords, or too flowery of language. You can lose readers if they have to look everything up on the internet. Number four, remember, you have 1,500 characters to tell your business story, so do it well. Number five, make it dynamic, change it as services and products and culture changes. And lastly, think of it as a mini website. Great food for thought, so let's digest it well.
Education can mean many things to people, depending on their location, culture, or industry specific. Use your knowledge of your field to complete these two sections. Certificates. This field has a 1,500 character limit text format. For example, I put in Certified John Maxwell Team. This is Ron McIntyre's profile. Certified John Maxwell Team, coach, teacher, speaker, licensed Illinois Health Life Insurance producer, BA degree from the University of Minnesota, sociology/psychology. Other options could be certifications for skills in programming, database work, advanced college degrees, medical certifications, etc., etc. At this time, this field is not searchable, but it is very important when someone reviews your profile. Learning goals. This field also has a 1,500 character string text format limit. In general, it should allow you to spell out new or ongoing learning goals you may have. Be creative and realistic. It is a great place to demonstrate any side passions you may have in life. And finally, let's move on to the social media section.
We believe social media is really important in today's hyper-connected business world, and I doubt many would argue with us about that. But social media is also misunderstood in many ways. One of those misunderstandings is which social media sites a business or individual should be on, and how visible one should be on them. Social media is not a fad or a trend. It's an enduring reality of our online existence today. For marketers, for example, it's indispensable. But when you approach social media as a marketing channel, things may get a bit confusing. Here's why. Social media marketing includes a myriad of potential social media sites, a vast array of ways to engage, and a medley of styles for each platform. Now, we have chosen to have you set up the big three: Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So this cuts down on somewhat of the confusion that you may have in terms of sites. How you use these tools, though, is the tough part. Letting people know where they can find you on the net is important to your growth. For example, do you know that the average number of followers a Twitter user has as of June 6, 2016 is 280? Growing your presence can grow your business when you do it intentionally and effectively, and the internet helps. The more you can exchange data with various people on these links and refer them to your account on Peer, the better chance you have to create new business relationships. Our recommendation is to embrace social and block time on your calendar to manage it. Now we're going to touch one more topic, which is the settings tab.
There are two sections in the settings tab that allow you to control two very important aspects of your daily interface with connections. Privacy settings. With these settings, you can narrow those who can see your connections or followers. You can also deactivate your account here. Number one, my profile. Who can see my profile? Everyone? My connections? My followers? It's your choice. Followers. Who can see those that are following me? Everyone? My connections? My followers? Number three, connections. And number four, followings. Deactivate your account. Do you want to deactivate your account? Yes or no? And email notification settings. This section allows you the control to turn off a specific email notification. This will become very valuable once you've built up your connections and commitment processes. Everything from creating commitment can be on or off, rejecting commitments, canceling, accepting, completing, updating. The list goes on and on. Well, that wraps up the importance of the profile on Peer.
Thanks for joining Rob and I today, and we hope that we've provided you with a good base of information to move forward with developing your profile, and that we've emphasized the importance that we feel that it plays in your business. Join us again soon. We look forward to hearing from you, and have a good day.